All right, everybody. Hi, welcome back to Immortal Creed Academy. I'm Chris. I'm one of the founders of Immortal Creed, and this is our second video we're doing. In the last video, I showed you how to create an account and to register your email address so that you can come back in to the game. As you can see, I've already logged in using the email and password, and you can see I've changed my name. I am now Immortal Creed Academy, or IC Academy here. The first screen you're going to come to when you come back to the game is the play screen. What I'm going to do is quickly go over this right here, and I'm probably just going to go down this interface list right here and show you what all these different tabs do. On the play screen, you have a few options. You can play a ranked match. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to get to that later. It'll tell you if you do or do not have a creed mark. Creed mark basically will allow you to earn valor in the game. So right now it says I don't have a creed mark, this little symbol here, and I cannot earn valor rewards for playing in ranked matches. Also, it says that if you buy credits in the shop page, you'll get a free creed mark with your first purchase. So basically, if you decide to come in and play the game, get some card packs, you go in, you buy some credits in the shop, and when you do that, it will give you a creed mark, and therefore at that point you can always earn valor when you play a ranked match. You also have a play a practice match. You can go in and play at novice level, just play a match against some of the NPCs we have. And then the other option is challenge another player, which is this button here is our skirmish mode, which is in beta right now. Not going to go too far in depth with that at the moment. Just wanted to get you familiar with this screen and what you can do with it. Play a ranked match, practice match, or do a skirmish. We're going to move on to inventory real quick. This video may be a little bit lengthy because I'm going to cover all these if I can. So on the inventory screen, you'll see that you've been given some starter cards to play with. The first tab that comes up is your Immortals. You have Warcaller, Wagner, and Asazi. Warcaller is melee, Wagner is ranged, and Asazi is magic. You click on one of these cards, you get a little pop-up here, so you can see a little bit better on the cards and tell you more about the card. This is a level 1 card. It's all melee equipment cards deal 10% more damage. So you click on Wagner. All ranged equipment cards have an 8% greater chance to hit. That's kind of his specialty. And if you click on Asazi, all magic equipment cards deal 10% more damage. So basically what these little buffs are right here, this right, all magic equipment cards will deal 10% more damage. So basically you're getting a buff to damage on magic. Same for Warcaller, you're getting 10% more damage on all of your equipment that are melee that you use in a battle. And with the Wagner, you get 8% greater chance to hit with all cards. You don't get a damage increase, but you get 8% greater chance to hit. So now, if you go to equipment cards here, you'll see we have melee cards, range cards, and supporting cards here. You can filter this using these little toggles up here at the top. I want to look at all of my melee cards. This shows your melee cards here. You can toggle for ranged, magic, and your supporting cards like your shields, the glove, the book. You also can toggle whether it's a rare card, common, rare, epic, legendary. You can toggle between regular foil, gold foil. These are starter cards, so it's not really going to matter. I think all of your starter cards are either commons or rares. So, you don't get the nice legendaries or epics in the starter cards. You can't get those out of packs. All right, let's move on. This is your inventory. Let's move to the shop. This is where you can buy Origin card packs. If you have credits in your wallet, which right now you can see we have 0 credits and 0 valor, you can buy Origins card packs with credits, or you can buy Origins card packs with valor. We don't have credits or valor, so at this point we can't. Now we can get credits if we click on the buy credits. If you click on buy credits, you'll have an option here where you can buy credits. You could buy the $10 worth, You can buy $20 worth, and it goes up. The highest you can spend is $500 worth for 50,000. And you can even pay with crypto, or you can pay with swap HBD. This is for those of you that have Hive. HBD is a Hive token. Crypto will actually bring you to like Coinbase Commerce, where you can actually pay with that. We'll click on this and show you what it looks like real quick. So you can pay with your Coinbase account, Coinbase wallet. You can also choose MetaMask, connect another wallet if you'd like to. We're going to back out of this. We're not going to actually do this transaction. Go back to the game. So there's where you can buy credits. Once you have credits, you can come back and you can actually buy Origins card packs with those credits. All right, let's move on to wallets. This is your in-game wallet. This shows what you have in the game. You also see a button here that says connect a Web3 wallet. So if you have like MetaMask or a Web3 wallet, you can connect that wallet to the game, and you can also use that to log into the game if you don't want to use the email and password. If you have something like the Hive keychain extension installed on your browser, you can also use the Hive keychain to log in. The button's not right here right now because I don't have the Hive keychain installed on this browser. But if I did, it would actually pop up and I have the connect Web3 wallet, or I'd have connect a Hive wallet. Moving on, we'll click on the Forge. The Forge is where you will combine your cards if you have your own cards. You can see right now, I cannot create any new cards because I don't have any cards to combine. I don't have any cards that I own. I only have starter cards. So once you have some cards, you've opened some packs, and you have multiples of these cards, you'll come to your Forge and it'll list the cards that you have that you can combine. One thing to note is that in order to combine cards, you will need either a Creed or a Craft token. Creed tokens are for Immortals to help you combine those, and Craft tokens are for the equipment cards to combine those. How you get Creed and Craft tokens is in your inventory. If you have these cards that you own, you'll be able to click on them and you'll be able to actually burn the card. This is a starter card. We can't burn it. So if it were an own card and we needed a Creed token, if we wanted to level up one of our Immortals, you can burn one card to get Creed tokens. Same thing goes with the equipment cards. If you had equipment cards that you owned and you were to select that one of those cards, you could burn it, and that would give you Craft tokens. So really quickly moving on, let's click on the season. The season screen, you'll see here, you can see who's leading the leaderboard right now. You also can watch battles that people have played recently. Few little stats up here for you. It shows what what the reward pool is for the season reward pool. It shows your shares of that reward pool. It also shows how many eligible wins you have for the day right here. It also shows how long the season's got to last. Right now we got about 10 days and a little bit of change left over until the next season ends. Quickly down here, if you go and look, you can actually see who's been playing here really recently. And if you'd like to, you could actually watch one of their battles. Click right there, you could watch, see what they're doing. Maybe if there's a good player, you know that they're always winning. You can watch and see what the cards they're playing and kind of maybe gain a little insight into the game there. Here we got the skirmish, which is in beta right now. We just recently released this to the game. This is where you can actually issue a direct challenge to another player. The player has to be in the game at the time when you issue the challenge. And in this, I don't think I'm going to go too far into this right now because I don't have anybody that I'm going to be playing. I don't have any cards that I have to play, which I don't have to have cards, but I'm going to save this one for another video and kind of go a little bit more in depth with that one later on. Underneath here we have the library, and I like this section because this is this shows you all the Immortals and all the equipment cards that are currently in the game at this time. So not only do you get to see all the Immortals, but you can actually see them at every level they're at. Let's take, for example, let's go here and let's click on Silas. And now we get to see Silas from level 10 all the way down to level 1. If you click on this level 1, we got a little pop-up, and you'll see that Silas has an 8% greater chance to hit on melee equipment. Now that only works on his melee equipment. It doesn't transfer to magic or to ranged. It's only for melee. This is his specialty. You can see at level 1, he's got 8%, and all the way up to level 10, he gains a 20% greater chance to hit, which is great for melee because that pretty much puts him at a 100% hit chance at level 10. You can pretty much go through here, click on any one of your immortals, and learn a little bit more about them, their specialties, what they do. Like click on Rothard here. You click on him, you'll see that at level 10, he takes 28% less damage from melee and ranged attacks. So any physical attacks on Rothard are going to be 28% less damage. You can see, for instance, Dakusetu here at level 10, he takes 95% less damage from poison. He's basically poison resistance. So great card if you're in a poison match. You're not going to be taking poison damage where your opponent will. Then of course you have your other immortals. You can come back and click on all these and see how they, see what their specialties are. Kind of get a feel for what levels you might want the cards at. Let's go ahead and go to equipment. And here, of course, you have your filters again where you can filter between melee. You can filter to ranged. You can filter to magic. You can also filter like if you only want to look at all legendary cards. All legendary and all legendary magic. Turn that back on. You can take a look. You'll see these are all your legendaries. You can see that these are all your epic cards you have. You can filter for all your rares. And of course you can filter all your common cards. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at a few of them here. Let's just start right here at the very first one. Winter's Bite. Just like with Immortals, you can go in and you can look at each card at its own level, from 1 to 10, and see what kind of bonuses it gets. Let's look at Winter's Bite. Let's take a look. Let's just pick level 8 here. So this card fills 2 turn slots and triggers on the 6th second of the second turn. Really good. Read this real quick because I'm going to explain this a little bit further here quickly. We'll go into probably a little bit more in depth on this later on. But what this means is this card is 2 turn slots. So when you're playing a battle and you're allowed turn slots, this card and this number right here in the top right corner means it takes up 2 of those slots. That's what that means. Now triggers on the 6th second of the second turn. So we know it takes 2 turn slots. So on the second turn that this card's played, it's going to trigger on the 6th second. If you look here in the left-hand corner, you'll see this number 6 with a little stopwatch. That tells you how fast this card is. All cards have a speed, 1 being the fastest and 10 being the highest. So if you have this card being a level or a speed of 6, if it's against a card that has a speed that's less than this 6, the other card will fire off before this one does. If the other card has a speed that's higher than this one, this card will actually trigger first, and then the other card with the higher speed will trigger afterwards. If they have equal speed, then they trigger at the same time. So, really good stat right there. Pay attention to speed is important in Immortal Creed. So, the second line here says, Winter's Bite reduces your opponent's magic damage dealt by 8%. And this effect stacks with each use. So, every time you use this card and it hits your opponent, their magic damage will be reduced by 8%. And every time this card is played and it hits, this will stack. So, really good card. Really good card if you're playing against magic. Bringing down your opponent's magic damage is a great thing. So, of course, we have a few other cards. Look at this one right here. Let's look at the Scourge's Kiss. You'll see at the very first level 1, it doesn't really have a bonus attached to it. But when you get to level 2, you'll see that it increases your melee damage dealt by 2%, and it stacks with each use. So same as Winter's Bite we looked at, every time this card is played and it hits your opponent, you are going to get 2% more damage, and every stacks every time. So if you go 5 rounds, this card hits all 5 times, you're going to be increasing your damage by 10% in that 5th round. Also, it also says this card fills a 1-turn slot, triggers on the 5th second of the turn. So you'll see that number 1 in the top right corner, that means it's a 1-turn card. And the number 5 down here with the little stopwatch beside it means that its speed is a 5. Anything lower than a 5 will trigger before this card does. Anything higher will trigger after this card does. And if it has a 5, it will trigger at the same time. The library is a great place to go to get familiar with all the cards in the game. I really like to use it to see what that next level is, what my card will be like if I level it up. Also in the library, when it comes to leveling cards, you can also find out how many cards it takes to get to that next level. Let's go ahead and let's click here on the Iron Sword. And let's say we're at level 1. So card level, card power, 1-turn slot. Level 1 only takes 1 card. Let's go back and let's look at that same card again at level 2. And we'll see that you need 2 CCC, which stands for Combined Card Count, needed to create this card. So what that means is you need 2 of these cards to combine in the Forge to get this card to level 2. You can go back again. We'll click on it again. Let's go ahead and let's go to, say, level 5. So you'll see that it's starting to get a little bit more bonuses here, but you'll, as far as what it takes to level this card, you'll need 14 copies of this card in order to create a level 5 Iron Sword. Great place to go. Take a look at your cards, see what that next level is at, how many more cards you need to get to that next level to get those added bonuses, added damage. The library is a great place for anybody to go and to learn more about the game and the cards. All right, moving on, let's go to documentation. What documentation is, this brings up our actual docs website where you can come and you can actually learn more about the game here. You have on this left-hand side, you have all these different tabs. You know, you can learn about different immortals here. You know, you can learn about the modifiers. You can learn about the different races we have in the game. Equipment, different modifiers to the equipment, how they work, and the abilities that are on the cards. You can learn about card level. You learn card rarity, card power, gold foil cards, combining cards, how to play the game. Great place to go if you have any questions that you can't find information in the game for. Come to the doc site and read about it here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the game. Now, the card market's another great thing we have here. Click on the card market, and this will take you to NFT Mart. Some friends of ours on the Hive blockchain, they developed this, and they agreed to let us put our cards up here. This is where you can go and you can actually buy cards other players have for sale. If you're on Hive, if you have a Hive wallet attached, and you can go and get these cards. You'll have to log in using your Hive keychain or, you know, Hive wallet. And if you'll see here, you'll see that you have all these immortals that are up for sale, these gold foils. Here's some epics that you have for sale. These are all cards that other players decided that they already have enough copies of, or if they just want to sell the card. And you can click on it, and you can find out more about it, what it costs here. Like this one's 0.02 Hive, you know. This is the Immortal Creed. This is where immortals are. And if you click on Immortal Creed equipment, this will bring up all the equipment cards that are on Hive as NFTs. It may take a second for some of these to load. There's a few of them on here. And you can go and purchase these. You can also sell cards if you have extras of. You can log in. You can put your own cards up for sale that you have. You can see here there's quite a few of these commons. Get through the gold foils. We got the rares. Got your epics. All the way to legendaries. One thing to note, you'll see here that says Valor. These cards right here you can actually purchase them with Valor if you have Valor that you've earned in game and move to the Hive blockchain. These cards up here are purchasable with Swap Hive. So that's the card market. We'll click out that one. And of course, our Discord button, that leads to our Discord, so you can join in the Discord. You can ask questions in general channel. You can ask other players if you got questions. We try to maintain good watch on Discord, so if you come into Discord and have any questions, any comments, just leave them there and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. I think that's going to be about it for this episode here of Immortal Creed Academy. That's a lot to cover right there, and I just kind of skimmed through a bunch of it really quickly. Hopefully I explained a few things to you if you had any questions there. I'll try to go back into each one of these with a little bit more detail later on in other episodes. But for now, I just wanted to go in and kind of get everybody familiar with what each one of these tabs over here does and what it is in the game and how you can use it. I appreciate you watching. Thanks again. This is Chris. I'm one of the founders of Immortal Creed, and I hope to see you next time on the next Immortal Creed Academy.